What is something you were bullied for growing up that has now become a trend? Korean food. Kimchi and lettuce wraps were not cool when I was a kid. For eating weird food. I'm Indian. My mom used to make me biryani for my school lunches, and other kids would give me such shit for it. A common refrain was, "Ew. Why are you eating yellow food?" Now everyone's losing their damn minds over turmeric and acting like it's going to cure cancer, or some shit. I'm here like, y'all bastards made fun of me for years for eating turmeric. Now you're putting it in your lattes. SMH. Having a big butt. Women have surgery to get butts like I've always had now. But being a young person in the late 90s, early 2000s when the trend was to be underweight with a flat ass was loads of fun. Having ample booty. Being a redhead. Since last decade's nerd culture boom, literally everything. There's an entire generation of nerds that are both happy their hobbies are being embraced, but sad no one said sorry to them and are taking up a safe space where outcasts could go. Wearing cat shirts. Being a nerd. Programming computers. Playing D&D. Playing musical instruments and building stuff out of electronics and/or mechanical components. My friends and I got picked on a lot for this in the late 80s and early 90s. It seemed to subside until the early 2000s, when a bunch of guys with beards and tattoos showed up and told us to get out of their space. We're doing nerd stuff, and you wouldn't understand it, they'd say. Shopping at thrift stores. Back then it was what my family could afford, but now it's super trendy to get vintage clothing. Hey, when I was a kid only _nerds_ used computers. Now y'all carry one around with you and can't imagine life without it. We win. Big lips. I wore a Champion sweater and got dogged on because it supposedly came from Walmart. Saw the same people wearing Champion years later when it became popular and had an epiphany that whatever brand you wear means nothing at the end of the day. Fuck others' opinions. As a kid, I was picked on for having allegedly ethnic looks. Specifically, full lips and kinky hair. Now that's far more accepted. Asian culture. The food, the spices or ingredients we use, the music, the fashion. All of it. Being a girl in the 80s, 90s who liked anything. Comics, video games, anime, action movies, TMNT, Transformers, Pog, Magic, D&D. I was denied or limited access to most, if not all of these things, bullied for it, too. Which is why I'm so encouraging of kids' interests these days. No one should be shamed for something they enjoy. The world is a lot better now, on that front. Kids are a lot kinder and a lot more open-minded. I was never bullied but D&D wasn't cool long ago and now it seems like a lot of famous people play. Social anxiety, tears of joy. Being weird. Being alternative. I was both. Made fun of horribly. And now the people who bullied me are going around embracing their weird side. Senseless memes with no punchline. Eating Nutella sandwiches. Nona sent it from Italy to us in America. Kids made fun of me and my siblings for eating poop sandwiches. Playing D&D and loving. Collecting Star Wars stuff. 80s and early 90s. My freshman year of college in the early 90s my roommates all made fun of me and called me a hillbilly for wearing flannel, plaid shirts. Then Nirvana and grunge blew up and it was a sea of flannel as far as the eye could see. I used to get bullied for my thick eyebrows. Now I get complimented. Weird to hear, I like your eyebrows. Never thought that would be something to compliment. Being a gamer. Country music and Star Trek. It's funny, 'cause they had to change both so much to become popular, that I'm no longer a fan of the recent stuff. But I was definitely not making any friends with my George Jones t-shirt, writing my Star Trek Voyager fanfiction. I wasn't bullied, but I was teased about my middle part. Liking Queen, DBZ, and Star Wars. Got made fun of for liking them, then it became cool. Dude in high school made fun of me saying Queen sucked. Worked with him as a lifeguard after my first year in college and he said Queen were amazing. Congrats on seeing the light but they were always amazing, you dick. Playing role-playing games. Back in the day, only nerds, shut-ins, dateless virgins, and the socially inept played RPGs. Now, it seems everyone has heard of Critical Role, and rock stars and movie stars proudly admit they play D&D. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=k-1 Liking anime. If you were listening to ABBA when I grew up, you were considered a very strange person with a poor taste in music. Today, let's just say things have changed. Today you would be considered strange for not listening to ABBA. Since I like ABBA, I'm glad things have changed. Watching anime. Bushy eyebrows. I wound up plucking them to death in the 90s and they've never recovered. Those big clear framed plastic gases. I hated them growing up. I was constantly being made fun of. Having a dad bod style figure. I was bullied for having a beer gut, but didn't drink. Then, in my high school years, got ripped. Once I hit second year of university, went back to dad bod and now it's acceptable. I was tall in elementary school. Bullied. Now I'm a tall woman and that's a good thing apparently, lol. I was the first guy to have a beard in my class. I felt so awkward and classmates really never missed a chance to rub it in my face, the fact about my beard. But now how the tables have turned. Some of those guys can't have proper full beard and are frustrated as hell. Having anxiety. Freckles. It blows me away that people get freckles tattooed on their bodies now. Nerd shit. I don't know if bullied is the right word, but I was pretty insecure about my thick eyebrows. Now women are painting them in to look extra thick. Gaming. Especially as a girl, I was seen as an alien. Knowing how to use a computer. Being a ginger. Born with naturally long dark black hair with curls, and I'm a boy but a lot of girls do it. D&D and anything to do with Marvel Comics. Video games. They took a huge jump in popularity from now I was a kid, and now all my high school bullies are posting about Animal Crossing. Comic books. Like, I had a cool symbiote Spider-Man shirt, but I didn't dare wearing it in school. Now there are cheerleaders wearing Thor shirts, and people on the street know who the Guardians of the Galaxy are. Granted, none of the characters they know were in the Guardians that I grew up with. But they know the title. Not wearing skin-tight clothing. I'm glad looser things are in style. My big behind. I used to be called hippo butt skeleton in my native language, starting from age 11. I was so skinny, you could see all my ribs, but my butt was huge in comparison. I hated everything about my figure up until 3 to 4 years ago when it became a trend. Being queer. Wearing hand-me-down clothes. Now it's vintage and cool to shop at places like Goodwill or secondhand stores. A plant-based diet. Was vegetarian and planned on going vegan, but parents never supported it. Hispanic, Latino features. Everyone wants tan skin, big lips and brown hair now. In middle school I hid anything that could link me to being a Hispanic. Thick eyebrows. Big gap in my front teeth. My siblings tormented me, but now I'd just be on trend. I hit puberty pretty quickly, and had to start shaving in 6th grade. I held it off for as long as I could because I didn't want to have stubble at that age and kids were asking me why I already have a beard. Being interested in old things. Playing with other kids who weren't the same color as I am. Everyone is all about acceptance now, but it was just 1993 when I remember being called an N-word lover and an AIDS zombie when I played with a boy whose mother supposedly had HIV. Enjoying Attack on Titan. Luckily this has a pleasant ending. The same jock who bullied me for watching AOT in middle school is now my BFF and we get together and watch anime every now and then, smiley face. I'll never forget being 16 and talking with a friend about our PS2 selection of games, when the most douche bro guy the first could imagine wearing a jersey came up to the both of us out of nowhere and went, "I love my PS2, yo." We were very, very confused. Just a few grades ago we were getting looks of being those kids for playing video games. If you had told me before then that one day video game ads would be playing on ESPN and the Super Bowl, I probably would have laughed. My lunches when I was in kindergarten, my mom used to pack me some bento boxes: rice, seaweed, tea, egg, some meat and veggies. All my classmates and sandwiches. So they made fun of my lunches that required a spoon and fork instead of handheld food. Now my coworkers pay over $10 for the same bento boxes my mom used to make me. Thick eyebrows. Eating ass. So no one's going to talk about watching anime? I literally see the guys who bullied me for it in high school post pics of them anime characters photoshopped next to them on social media now. Liking anime, games and enlisting to J-pop or K-pop. Glasses and having autism. Same people who beat the shit out of me. I'm such a Sheldon Cooper, ha 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 ha. Fuck you and fuck that garbage show. My hair. I have tons of it and it's very curly. Sometimes my cousins would call me Marge Simpson. Then natural hair care actually became a thing and I learned to embrace my hair. Now it's my signature. I get stopped a few times a week, sometimes a few times a day, by people to tell me they love my hair. I used to be an introvert when I was younger. Took years to get out of it. Now it's F-king trendy. Watching anime. Being a fanboy, I guess? Being neurodivergent. Comic books and Dungeons and Dragons. I grew up poor in elementary school and sometimes my jeans or shorts would have holes and tears in them where they were wore out. Now I see people buying jeans new from the store and that already have holes and tears. Little did they know I was living 20 years in the future. You know that thing where kids, teens are putting their blush on over their nose so it sort of looks like an anime cartoon blush. I used to do that when I was like 16-17 and people made fun of me for it. I didn't do it as dark as it's popular now. It just looked sunburned. I also used to wear my hair in milkmaid braids a lot and people would bully me over it. Also, thick eyebrows. Not because I didn't want to pluck. I just didn't like the pain. Being very thin. 6 feet tall and 120 lb. I was the kid at the beach who wore a long sleeve shirt because my chest was basically concave. Oh, not to mention my big buck teeth. I couldn't even close my mouth cause I was kind of dealing with an overdeveloped upper jaw and an underdeveloped lower jaw. The same people who tormented me and made fun of me in high school didn't even recognize me at our high school reunion. Anyway, today, guys don't have to look like they're bloated and on steroids walking out of the gym. Being computer savvy or nerdy. Being a girl who liked boy things, like games, action figures, sci-fi, etc. Thanks for watching. See you later.